Hey, Hotep, bless up, Aquaba, and greetings. This is me, Sis Ebona, the recovering African enslaved in America, and a representative from the Voices of the Margins. I'm still true to the cause of African liberation via unification, and yes, my brother, are you too religious, using the tool of healthy and effective communications. This is Maccabee in the background, talking about words, sound, and power. And this is a video response to my brother, Are You Too Religious?, who asked the question about whether we may want to choose to begin to refer to ourselves as brown versus black. And my brother, Are You Too Religious? And to the Desti.com fam. He made a very good argument, if you will, or raised some very unique and very informative and crucial points regarding the use of the term to refer to ourselves as black, based on the definition, the European definition of what it means to be black. I shall say for myself, as I listen to you, brother, Are You Too Religious? Initially, I'm like, okay, you know, I was working to stay open. I'm like, okay, guess that, you know me, I do recognize, understand, and appreciate, and respect this thing called healthy and effective communication. I'm very clear, cognizant, and am able to comprehend the meaning and the power that is behind words, especially in the lives of African descendants. With that said, I shall say, as I listened, I thought, well, that argument I can see if and only if and when I own the definition of black as put forth by the European. Yes, the European attributed certain characteristics, and those characteristics supported their intent to do just that to the black people. I also learned, let's see if I can back up a little bit, the term Abibi Tumikasa, that is the land of the black man. That is a traditional African term used, I believe, in the Akan tradition of the people of Ghana. And that is how the land Africa and points west, way back when, it had been referred. That's what happened. That is, in part for me, as an African descendant, what I am in a process of doing, that is recovering my true story and the true meaning and definition for what it means to be black. It does mean to be a queen, a goddess, the black hole that they spinned and called, associated with, rather, all that they were bad, that all that they were, that they took themselves and laid it on us, just like adding white out to shit, you know, and making it appear as if it's sugar and then giving it back to us. That's what they did too, as I understand it, with the terms that we use to describe not only ourselves, yet everything else, almost, you know, that we interact with. You know, a dog was meant to be controlled, contained, domesticated, because it was a dog, and the attributes that they gave to this thing called a dog supports the behavior of domesticating that animal, as they did with us as people. Labeled black, bad, oppressed, depressed, all of those things that you pointed out, and I could probably point to where to pull out one of my dictionaries here as well. So it's like if I carry that definition, then yes, that's what it means. However, when I begin to live my true story and own the definitions that I am free to practice the principle of Kuji Chakalia, which is self-determination. I determine what black means for me. They do not determine it. And in this process of recovery, one thing that we learn in the rooms of recovery is to flip the script. Flip the script on the sort of experience of a thing that we're having. And when it is something that we feel quote unquote negative about, we flip the script and look at it from a different perspective. A penny is still a penny, whether you're looking at the head side or the tail. So I can look at it, choose to look at it from this perspective, or I can turn it from this perspective or that perspective, and I choose which one I settle on and which one I move and walk with. So those were some thoughts that came up for me as I listened to you, and certainly learned from you as well. You know, yes, have we all been told and taught that everything black was bad, and that's why black is associated with funerals and bad and grief and mourning. For them, our blackness meant that, means that still. And because those are the definitions that they continue to hold fast to, it supports their past and current behaviors of exercising control over people's lives. And when you control a thing or a person, you are free to do with it as you will. And although it wants to go this way, you can force it to go this way because you are in control. You have the power over it. Because they hold fast to those terms, to those definitions, they behave as if. Now, you know, of course, yes, it is about movement, and that we shall no longer own those definitions. We shall throw those definitions off, and by doing so, we also throw them off the foot of oppression off of us, as we throw off their definitions and put on our own beautiful robes of righteousness in terms of what it means for me to be black, African. See, I have no problem for me with the term black, because for me, I flip the script. And while they say that it means everything bad, I flip the script and I know that it means everything good. Why? Because I'm a woman of African descent. I possess that black hole that folk want to enter into. And out of that black hole comes forth life, spirit, energy. From that black hole of nothingness. Watch me come forward. Life. Transform. It's transformation time. It's transformation time. Yes, we shall move and transform. You know, it was so interesting when the Transformers whole thing came out, some 15, 20 years ago? And they would take a car and then turn it into a robot, transformed into a robot. So once it was this thing that could be manipulated and moved, and then it became this thing that just moved stuff. And that's what it means for me to be. Thanks for listening to me share.